Ping Identity is a identity and access management company that has been involved in the public sector space, specifically in the federal government, for over 20 years now. We address a number of use cases around single sign-on, multi-factor prompts, dealing with risk of the user, and also how they're getting access to things with lifecycle management, doing auto provisioning of the users, deprovisioning, reprovisioning based on their attributes and the roles that they need to have within the organization. And we do all of that with the ability to deploy into FedRAMP High, IL5 environments, as well as supporting full feature parity with on-prem, low bandwidth, air-gapped environments. So the main products that we're currently offering are around the access management, identity management space, and we layer that on with an orchestration engine that allows you to, in a drag and drop environment, orchestrate your processes for how the users are going to register, how they're going to access the systems, whether that's your external identities, your citizens, your B2G relationships, G2B relationships, or it could then also be workforce as well, and being able to know how they're accessing the systems, what processes they're needing to go through to get to specific applications, and being able to then map that out through an orchestration process. But also, a lot of the things that are coming are around tracking risk and identifying situations like man-in-the-middle attacks and bot attacks, and also being able to take those risks and then do something about them within the process. And so it's not just a one and done with an authentication process, but it's also worrying about when a user is going to a different application or when a user is switching to a different session. Then you need to check again and see the risk of that situation and whether or not it's something the user is normally doing in their behavior profile, or if it's something that's new and what's changed with the user in between accessing applications, and then determining risk. And that's something that we're focused more and more on, is doing real-time risk calculations and then making choices based on the risk. The needs of the government is something that we're very focused on, and one of the things that and I mentioned this a little bit before, but I think this is really important, is that we recognize that the government's going to have use cases that can't be solved with a SaaS solution. We have a SaaS solution, we have a FedRAMP High IL5 solution that has feature parity with our on-prem solution so that you can create a one-time template of configurations and deploy anywhere. And that supports those environments where you still need an on-prem solution, where you have disconnected environments, where you have air-gapped environments that are only going to be able to sync up occasionally or never, but you need to have a solid identity management solution deployed there. We can support that, and we feel the importance of supporting that for government to be able to accomplish their missions. We know that we need to provide a feature parity on-prem solution as well as our cloud FedRAMP solution for the government. So the main area that we're looking at right now, which we see coming, is twofold. One is agentic AI is going to heavily impact identity, and that comes from a couple different areas. One is, what process does the user need to go through to be able to access an agentic AI that's being provided to them? And when this comes into government, it's going to be revolutionary, but we want to make sure it's secure. And then the other factor is, what are those agentic AIs going to be allowed to do, and what can the identity management solutions do to control what actions the agentic AI can actually take? That includes things like booking travel for a user, or logging into a privilege management system for a user if they have access, because they're able to authenticate, because the user theoretically has put in their credentials already into the agentic AI. Then there's a lot of open doors there that could happen, and we see this impacting our government users as well as our commercial users. But the other thing that we see is the impact of quantum. We're already working to get post-quantum encryption built into our system so that we're ready when quantum computing comes out, so our population of users can be protected for all the existing customers using Ping Identity.